Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, welcome to RC Pilots Lounge number 110. Where you been? What is up? Can you guys hear me and all that good stuff? Let me know with some emojis or something. How's it going? Special shout out to the captains. Thanks so much, guys. All of you members of the channel. Appreciate that. Like, really. Really. You guys keep this channel in the new stuff. Not everybody puts it all back in the same way. We make sure we're doing all the new stuff over here. Stings a lot sometimes, but we make sure that there's never a lack of the new products that you guys want to see. What is up, everybody? We'll do a shout out in a minute. And seriously, by far, the best way to support a channel is to come by, engage, like it, comment, and share it out. None of that costs anything. Randy, what's going on? Have you flown that Bigfoot yet, man? I saw that your video went up for like the assembly, I think it was, earlier. I mean, not long ago. Good to see everybody. We'll do a shout out here in a minute. Victor, you just posted a AL37 video, I believe. Mikey likes it. Yes, it is. I hope you know how much I'm on your side and feel for you sometimes, man. Because I don't write people off, man, quick. And people will write folks off very quickly. But there's more going on than what we see on the surface. And so that's how I roll. Some guys are still here because of that. How you doing, Farmer Man? RC rolling, what is up, dudes? Got rain. Yeah, SEO. I mean, make sure that you're not too forward on the CG too. Because, I mean, man, look. Your deli tray meat at the store has more foam in it than the elevator on that stuff. But it's made out of like the same stuff. Yeah, thumbs it up, dudes. And really, the regular videos throughout the week is what's up. I don't even leave these listed. These are just for right now. I don't care about watch time or any of that stuff on these live streams. I unlist them when they're done. This is just for hanging out. And I know guys watch them on the replay. That's fine. But, and you can, because I leave them there on their own playlist on the channel. More like a network, you know what I mean? Each playlist is, I think, its own channel. But, yeah, guys, nothing really in particular. You know, we're getting back to the old deal. You know, last weekend was a big, long collab weekend with the Boozers and Air Marshal, which was sick. Good times. Check it out. Stuff that you guys already know what we did, most of us. And then a lot of you guys aren't into that, which is fine, you know. But, you know, it's not always shopping. You know, just like it's entertainment too, right? Just soak it up. Suck it up. No one's trying to beat everyone into buying everything. We're just, this is what the job is, making videos. Yeah, dude. Hangar 9 Pits does look awesome, Eddie K. So, yeah, guys, thanks for coming by. Show number 110. 110, and I know I've missed count somewhere, and I do Thursday streams sometime, as well as special announcements, especially when companies ask me to. I tend to oblige the folks who take care of me and the community. You know, they appreciate you guys, and so I'm a bit of a go-between. Craig Beaven, Bravo, Daryl Pinson, Randy Geller, what is up? Eddie K, Jeff's Custom, Race 22, Warren in the house, Eric Quinn. Check out Eric Quinn, guys. That cat is putting out loads of content, man. Mr. T 1035, Boss 223, Jeff in Lower Alabama, Eric Quinn, yep, Jeff's Custom, Show 110, yeah. Mr. T 1035, yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Big Head RC, you ain't lying. Armour gonna bankrupt us all this year. I'm saying. I tell you what, I love what I see happening on the channel. I'm seeing airplane guys comment on my Surface videos and Surface fellas commenting on airplane videos, and everybody coming out and hanging out in these chats. It's sick, dude. It's a good time, and that's what I want. You know, just like my shirt and some of the merch, right? I love RC. It's true. I don't really have any other... Now, when I was a young man, I had loads of vices, but I don't anymore. RC is it. So, RC and, you know, like YouTube, which is a tough game, and I play to win usually. So, I mean, I'm in it. Dollar Bill Clinton in the house, if he doesn't say so himself. Thank you, John Newts, Cluck Hal, David Snyder, Jordan Dole. Good times, y'all. So, I mean, just like every time, we're back to just sitting here with the camera and the comments, rocking it out. Your host with the most, man. You know what I mean? We're doing it. So, awesome. Olson. Nice Raptor in the background. There's a story with that. Big Head RC, Land, Air, and Sea. Yeah, I did a boat the other day. I mean, what the heck? Shadow Ops. What is up? You leaving already, man? Man, Ryan, that armored vehicle, but it's very expensive. Dude, that's the beauty of choices. You know, it's not socialism with RC. We're not all forced to fly gray apprentices, you know, or anything. It's cool. It's nice when there's choices. It's crazy when all this baloney, when all this all started, I wasn't sure what was going to happen with RC. And I think it's been great to have for a lot of people. Something to do and tinker on. Nathaniel Poling, Shadow Ops, Pterodactyl. Is that the new Inrunner one? Yeah. Well, no. The new Inrunner one is in the box. This one, Greg, me and Air Marshal did a deal on the F-22. I know you kind of expressed interest in it. I'm doing a trade-off, a work trade-off, some kind of graphic design stuff that I need. So that's what I'm doing. When I build this one, I'm going to take that one apart and put it in the box. Harry Thunderwhite, what is up? Camaro 6914. Mitchell Farley, I see you on YouTube making comments. What's up? Thank you. I can't wait to drive it some more, by the way, guys. That thing is dynamite. Shadow Ops, enjoy the vacation. Paul McNeil, I didn't fly today, but Paul asks if anybody else did. Ha! Nice. Nice. Eric Quinn, it's people can't really click off, I'm pretty sure, but do it anyway. And if it doesn't work in the live chat, you can always put it in the real comment section of these videos. But Eric Quinn, put a link to your channel up in here. Olson Aviation, you finally got the F-14 made and done. That's killer. Mike Keller in the house. Yeah, it was windy here. I stayed home and painted on the house. And I want to get ready for tomorrow. It is, man, I have so many plans and ideas, but it takes... there's these funny plateaus that you guys will hit in your... if you're doing the YouTube thing, you know, where it's like, man, I need a Lori, you know, I need a wife who can do it, because there's a lot to do, a lot of great ideas, hard to get them done. Eric Tennant said, too windy in upstate New York. How's everybody doing on the coast, man? There's been some crazy weather. I mean, I live a blessed life where I manage to get along most days without checking out. anything else other than the life I'm in, which is we got fall baseball going on right now, which is cool. You can't drop links. That's okay, man. Why? Because you're on like a funny device or something? Yeah, Jordan, that thing will scoot and really slow down. The presence is amazing for how small it is. Michael Rajka, I still want to say Rajka. It's Reitza. But look at his name and tell me where you get Reitza out of that. It's wrong, Michael. You're saying it wrong, dude. Mike Kennedy says the smoke's finally gone. Yeah, it's been crazy for some of our buddies on the coast. California, Louisiana. All right, Kevin Trappin, peace out, dude. Barry Campbell's hanging in there. Yeah, guys, check in with us. Place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and moved to Beverly. Yes. Flew to Ultramicro Pits. No, I'm not in Illinois. I'm in Indiana. SEO. I should be in Champaign. On the board. Yeah, right. You tell them they're saying it all wrong, dude. I got you, Eric Quinn. There's so many of you guys doing good work and sharing. You know, it's kind of easy to probably get. I've been at this a minute, man. It's probably easy. It is easy to get just in the groove of this YouTube thing, dude. It really does overcome so much of your time, your mindset, your strategy. It becomes this thing. Because ironically, doing RC and deciding to put them on video, what ends up happening I've done it since 2012. What ends up happening is you're able to engage and do video and watch video and edit video and stuff way more often than you actually can fly the stuff. So it becomes, for me, it's become as much a part of it as all of it. It's all just one big deal. And that is actually a decent segue. And I know some of you guys won't care, and I won't be long about it, but I want to talk about TubeBuddy a little bit. Because I sign up for it, and you can do it monthly or yearly. If you do it yearly, you save a little money. I think it's almost like getting 2 months for free. Hey, Dave, good to see you, dude. You're as bad as Kenny on the comments, man. I told you check your PayPal yesterday, and it's like I feel like it's Price is Right, dude. Right? So like people will go $1 over just to be like the high bidder. So, like, I hit you up with, like, weird change, 55.55, you know what I mean, on your PayPal. So, anyway, here's this car you're going to buy through my .coms, right? What, on the big Corsair, Mikey? Is that what you're talking about? Mikey likes it? I got you, George Watts. My wife, she's so funny. Somebody remind me of TubeBuddy later. Listen, it's my show. It's y'all's show. Whatever we're doing. No itinerary, although that's cool. This is how we roll. So, George, my wife, yesterday was out of town. Not very often does that happen. She's out of town with her family. There was a tragedy in the family, so they were all gone, and I stayed with the kids, and she's, we usually tag team bedtime. I used to really have to, when they were little, help a lot more, but they're getting bigger except for the one, and so it's pretty low key for me now. But I had them all yesterday, which is no big deal for me, but she thinks it is. So she comes home. It's after bedtime. Everybody's asleep, And she's all surprised, like the place didn't fall apart, which I think is funny. It's like, dude, I got this. You left me a list. She left me a list, like kind of her time and all, like what she does when. I'm like, cool. I just totally did it. And it worked out. And it's like, you know, if the little one's getting cranky, well, it's time to read her book instead of the other kid's book. You know, it's that easy. RC verse, the way to get a wrench is that we've met in person. This is the criteria. And for me, it's that they're not a big deal. Mostly. But folks that I've met in person or worked with in some capacity is really what's up. And that's how you get them. Always Rajka. Mikey likes it. Is it a gripping or a griping? Not too many people were griping about the price. Not that I pay attention to anyway. Yeah, thanks, Craig. Yeah, and that's the thing here on this channel. You know, people put it back in their channels in different ways, and nobody has to justify honestly what it is they're doing with their business. But Horizon got me on 2 large ones this month. Whew. But I was like, I can't not do those. There's some stuff I can let slide, man. I mean, pocket rockets are a good time, but you'd have to send it to me. You know what I mean? Skip build, if you're asking me, yeah, man. I mean, I'm dedicated to bringing the new. Unless it absolutely stinks. Or I just am not into it. Most new stuff comes my way anyhow. But there's some stuff where I have the choice. Do I want it or not? If I want it, I got to pull that trigger like everybody else. So, popped on the cool motion stuff. I actually was really, I mean, I'm all over it. It's cool. And I think this might fit the bill too. Like everybody wanted to see a Eurofighter, like V3, V2, whatever, come out. I feel like. And I think this makes it possible for them to not need to. Because here's a cool Delta with canards. And I can hardly wait to get my hands on it. Big 80. You know, it's like a 90, but an 80, that powerful system. It's a hot ticket. And I really didn't look at the live except just to see what was the release going to be. And from what little bit I heard, it's cleaned up, like gear doors and stuff like that. Real slick. So, cool. I'm all over it. P-51, you got the MiG-29. Do you get the Arrows MiG-29 or the big dog? By the way, I got links in the description of this live stream like I always do. And they're going to take you to various places. One of which being the Labor Day sale at Hobby Zone. That goes on till the 8th. A lot of people upset about the PayPal situation. Well, check out Hobby Zone. You know, you can get, I know there's pre-orders on like the Felony and some of that stuff. And there's pre-orders at Horizon as well, but you have to use credit. Not everybody wants to use credit. Yeah, I'm all over the gripping, dude. Yeah, I'm big dog. I'm gonna do what the book says, you know, on the mix. Here's the cool thing too. If I want to make the video, like after that, if I'm not in love with it, it'll move on. It'll move on. It will move on. This F-22 is moving on to Air Marshal. Paul Kennedy in the house. Josh Weaver, good to see you, man. The Gripen, Josh, it's just the 80mm system that's out of the T-33. And the big MiG-29 has 2 of those power systems. My new F-22 has the 9-blade Inrunner which I'm pumped about. The one I've been flying has I put an FMS 12 blade Outrunner in it. It's big Boss 223 and it's fast. I kind of want to adjust the preload and take off some of those real low bits that help keep it hugging the road and all that. Because I want to jump it some. And I want to figure out those titanium bolts. RC Flyer in the house. Craig Beaven, I need to send you pictures of that F4. I got him. Chris Lefty, what is going on? All you guys new to the channel, thanks for coming by. If you are new, do that thing, dude. Seriously, feed that algorithmic robot of YouTube. For all of us, not just me, but try. The better y'all do that, the less we have to say it. I hate saying all that stuff, honestly. Like, click it, bells, just please do that stuff. Comment, like, share it out. All those things tell that algorithmic robot that what they're watching is worthy of being served to people, which, you know, it's all free to do. Gonna be moving soon, Josh? Need to move where I'm at. You'd be too busy anyway. Quinny Perk's gonna fly his mall tomorrow. Yeah, big is awesome, dude. Joe Mack from Dublin, what is up? Bruce, still waiting on Horizon to say if they'll be putting out plug-and-play models rather than what? Bind and fly? On what plane? I mean, dude, think about how invested they are in Spectrum. They're not going to get rid of bind and fly, man. It's too awesome. Skip built in the house. Reckham Roy. Hey, your P39 looks cool. I didn't see the video, but I saw the paint scheme on it. Looks awesome. Randy Geller, thanks for coming by, dude. See you around. Randy Geller in the house. He's out. New York Central, huh? Holy smokes. Warbirds are... I love Warbirds, man. Hot rods of the sky. You like a 57 Chevy? You like a 68 Camaro? Then you like an airplane that was designed in the 30s, brought into production, and flown around by some of the best people you'd ever care to meet. Strap on. Talk about a crotch rocket, man. Can you imagine? And some of the people that were in those efforts in the 40s remember... I mean, think about it, really. The birth of flight to rockets in space and such is like a very small spread of time. There were guys that were flyers in World War I that got to see and participate in World War II. What a jump that would have been. Most of those guys, I've heard accounts where some of those fellas had a lot of trouble, actually, adapting to the faster, heavier loaded aircraft. For real, George, I agree. Hit that like button, says Skip. Do it. Jets are hot, and because of technology, it's the golden age for them still, where we're able to see so many of them. They're a little bit more familiar to so many people. We can't let Warbirds die, though. They're just too cool. And, like, think about prop planes. If there weren't Warbirds, the civilian stuff and stall and all that is cool, but, man, Warbirds, come on. I mean, that's why a lot of us are doing this in the first place. I never hoped that Kenny Hangar 51 was so right before in my life than on his guess for what the release was going to be Friday. You know, he was thinking Hurricane. That would have been sick. By the way, there's a dope little Hurricane at BitGo. All you got to do is go to pilotryanmedia.com and click BitGo Hobby. That's a nice little Hurricane, but I want a bigger one. Antoine Ozano. I'm sure I butchered it, man. I apologize. Guys, answer the question for Antoine. I hope I got it right, man. Does a Mall 7 need elevator mix with flaps? My guess is that it does, because it's a high wing, like civilian style bird that probably needs a little bit of down elevator with flaps. I always urge folks to look at the manual closely because it will say it most of the time. Yeah, warbirds, dude. Yeah, so I think GB put out a video on Wreckham Roy's, looks like a custom P39, probably ripping on 4S. Check it out. Well pronounced? Wow. Thanks, man. Don't get me wrong, I love my P39. Would like to see more rare models get released rather than the Mustang Spitfire Corsair. Yeah. Raymond Molina in the house. What is up? Yeah, boss, man. Me too. Yeah, Mr. T 1035. When I was starting out learning to fly, jets were definitely not on my radar at all. Neither was anything Axis. I just wasn't going to do it. But I became like a linguist of airframes. I wanted to know what they all spoke. That's a corny way to say it, but it actually says it all. Like, I really enjoy seeing how they behave. And just like I told my dad years ago, even before I was writing for the magazine, I want to figure out how to fly it all. Kind of did. Wild Bill, what's up? Yeah, John, in the chat for the Griffin. Yeah, I'm in there too, but y'all don't see me. In the chat for the Griffin, I asked for more warbirds. Motion said there are more projects in the pipeline. Yeah, there always are. Wild Bill. Lancaster, HE111. Yeah. The Plane Whisperer, yeah, man. Don't crash. I don't like, I mean, the Lancaster definitely has a place in history. It doesn't do anything for me, personally, on looks, but that doesn't mean anything. The thing about bombers, too, it's like, what do you want out of the flight character? Like, I want a big, predictable, like, lumbering kind of behavior, more like a B-17 does. The B-24 was pretty cool, but man, it's got a fast wing. Oh, you're welcome, Roy. Oh yeah, George. And so those were big money. The jets that I would have been looking at had the coat hanger landing gear that was fixed. They sounded awful. Like, seriously, they hurt so bad to listen to. They seemed to always be out of balance and all. They just were awful. Yeah, Wild Bill, that's all the connection you need, you know, when a family member's got experience with something. That's what's up. John Graham, I was talking about that earlier. I love Hurricanes. I've flown the E-Flight one, the Dynam one, and you guys might know Wind Rider. My first magazine article I ever did was I chased it down. The guy at the magazine was not handing out review models to new guys. But I got in there somehow, and he's like, you gotta chase down your own. Okay, fine. So I chased down a company nobody heard of, Wind Rider, got a Dauntless, wrote like some super duper article, tied in the history and the model and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, Wind Rider also made, I think, an AL-37, and this was a long time ago. And the kits went together like GWS kits, and he also put out a Hurricane. So that may have been the first Hurricane I had. I don't remember if I had the E-Flight one or not. Actually, back on this channel, way back, is an E-Flight Hurricane. Me and Mike, you know, ripping it up back before we had a runway. The black car behind me is the Arma felony. It's fantastic. I just did a running video right here on the channel a few days ago. Check it out. The one thing I've noticed about all the Hurricanes that I've flown, John, was a tremendous amount of roll coupling with rudder inputs. So they catch a guy by surprise on crosswind stuff, but I think that's, you know, that's where you crank the stabilizer in the roll axis. You know what I'm saying? I love the way they fly, but they are kind of. We were flying off of grass, so I really didn't get to experience. When you're flying off of grass, if you're flying an airplane that's known for a ground loop, a lot of times you're not going to see it. So, could be there's a tremendous amount of that with the Hurricane, just because of the way like it's configured. You know what I mean? Like when you look at a T6, it's like a wing with a tube on top, and then they fare it up to the tube. You look at a Focke-Wulf though, and a Zero, and it's like there's no neck, so it's settled in more, like the top of the wing. Like this is the roundness, right? So the top of the wing is here going out, you know, dihedral, and the bottom is, of course, at the bottom of the circle of the fuse. But like a T6, it's like straight out. Hurricane's like straight out. They're still fared, but it's like really just like a circle with a flat thing on the bottom. So I think those are a little bit more, you know, prone to getting you on a ground loop. That's all. A no-neck plane looks like a Zero and a Focke-Wulf, smarty pants. P-47, Wildcats. You know what I mean? Kind of mid to tucked into the bottom. Yeah. I don't know if that's the right word for it, John, because it's really where the wing's at in relation to the fuse. I don't know if that's the terminology, but show us again, Ryan. There you go. That ought to cost you something. Michael Sherman in the house. What is up? Yeah, Eric Quinn on a Hurricane, or as they would call it, a Hurricane. Man. Guys, seriously, if you love warbirds, I don't get any. I'm not plugging my channel for views here. I have a playlist though that is all like awesome World War II training films. It's awesome, and there's a bunch of like these old favorites. I mean, really, like you're in the service getting taught how to fly it. I mean, it's awesome, awesome. So. Matthew Smiley, what'd you walk in on? That's a... Do the thing. It's the only way they will understand. I love it, but it is the best explanation. Yeah, man, that's, you know, that's why I work. That's why I work. If I start dropping coefficient language and vortices, I'm not sure it's going to hit many. What's the last plane that had you worried about the maiden flight? That's a great question, Mike. Probably that Mustang, honestly. I mean, big T-33, you know, you worry about those things. You know, the HSD stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's expensive, F-16, big T-33. Oh, George, yeah, they're cool. Laminar flow, that's the airfoil of a Mustang. But that's not, airfoil is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about where the wings are in relationship to the fuse. And how that relates to my theory on ground loops. All smart. Mike Keller Pitts V2 tomorrow. Nice. David Snyder, what you talking about that F-18? Wild Bill, that's good news, man. Yeah, guys, check out that for sale stuff. There's good savings on that stuff till the 8th. Terry Farmer, what is happening? Roach Coach is lurking in the dark, working on a helicopter, working and twerking. Nice, Dana. Sick. 110 folks. Give it a like, y'all. Seriously, you guys too, go watch the regular videos during the week. There's airplane stuff, there's surface stuff. If you're not a surface guy, don't watch it. It's cool. But man, it's the best thing you can do. Don't forget, it's easy. Give it a like, comment on that thing. If there's somebody you think would like to see it as well, share it. Thank you so much. Good luck, Mike Keller. I don't really say good luck because I don't believe there's such a thing. But break a leg is more of a theater thing. But good luck. Quinny Perks RC, what do you think is the best budget covering film? Saran wrap, hands down. But go to Big Lots and get the cheap version. Honestly, Quinny Perks, I have no idea because I don't do that kind of modeling at the moment. But if somebody else has an answer for Quinny Perks as to what is the best budget covering film, please answer in the comments section. Rhino, good to see you, man. I hope you're doing all right and your computer works out. Hey, man. Emilio Rivera in the house. Chris, break a prop instead of break a leg. I got you. It's all about context. These dudes who read the comments a half hour later can't get the humor. Kenny. That's probably good advice. Rhino says, I wouldn't get covering film on a budget. The extra $5 for Ultra Coat is worth it, he says. 9, says Matthew Smiley's Aviation Center. Dude, that thing flies like a baby doll anyway, Keller. P-51, ever do a heli, Ryan? Yeah, maybe. I'm just not into him at all. Just not. Chris Morgan in the house. Whoa, it's going fast. Let's see. Sean Forster. Need EDF number 2 after a month with the E-flite F-16. Is the Focke-Wulf, is the Freewing T-33 too trainery? Which E-flite F-16, Sean? Quinny Perks, if you're overseas, I never recommend Hobby King, but if that's the only place to go to get it, and you're overseas, it might be good for you. So, Sean, let me know, which E-flite F-16? I don't think the T-33 is too trainery, and if it's something you got eyes on, I mean, that should say it all. That thing's a ripper, dude. Watch the video on this channel. Everything y'all are looking at or talking about or want to have or have had, if you want, go check it out on this channel because we have flown it. Chances are we have flown it. So that'd be cool if you went and saw us rip its face off because we have a good time. And sometimes there's a lot to be learned from that. It's kind of infotainment. That's a good word. Yeah, Sean Forster, dude. 70? Okay, cool. I don't think you'd be disappointed, especially if you like T-33s. I don't think you'd be disappointed with that T-33. It rips. They sell it on Amazon with $2 shipping. Sick. I know a guy with an Amazon store. All you gotta do is go to Pilot Ryan Media and click the Amazon icon and bam, get your film. Skeptical Bill has a question. Anybody else, if I miss you and it's super important, throw it back out there with some emojis so I don't miss it. Skeptical Bill just got to ask if anyone else would like to see a 64 or 70 millimeter B58 Hustler. Just throwing it out there. Your flight videos are great. Skeptical Bill, I think a lot of us would like to see one of those in whatever size. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be fun. Love the paint scheme on the Freewing F-16 too much to go with the E-Flite. Hey, that's cool. It's not your fault. Don't blame yourself. I was teasing. So, listen. How many of you guys are completely sick of... This is like the worst segue ever. Boss223. It's funny you should say that. There's a lot going on here around here. And in the future, I think there may be some of that available. Who knows? Working on bigger things than just the channel. I'd like to use... I'm obviously marketing well for these people. And I'd like to market well for myself. You know? I mean, I'm obviously all in, right? 2012. It's still doing it, like learning it, improving the game all the time. I've got big ideas that take growing this thing bigger and better so I can afford to have the help I need to delegate out. So anyway, wouldn't be crazy if that happened. Man, it goes fast, dude. Let's see. Anyway, yeah, worst segue ever. If you're tired of Facebook, I get it. I have a Facebook group that's great, RC Pilots Lounge. A couple easy questions to get in. People get it wrong all the time, but as long as I know they're flying planes, I still let them in. But if you're sick of everything else that you see there, Instagrams. So many of us have Instagrams now. You get a little mini review, which can kind of tease you as to what you could expect in a full-length video on the, plane. So, if you're sick of getting mad at what you're seeing, Instagram's a lot easier to digest. My link to Instagram is in the description. I've been floating around 5,000 followers for like a year. Let's get it up there, dudes. Get it up there. And other guys have it too. Let's see. Jeremy Sean. Dude, they finally made a grip and so stoked. Yeah, I think you used to ask for one all the time, didn't you? Let's see. Caleb RC Flyer. Yeah, Mikey. No time. Hey, I get that. Let's see, what are we talking about? Who made the grip? Freewing, yep. Caleb's, hi Ryan, on the Flightline B-24, what was the longest flight you did on it? I have no idea. I mean, you can really milk it if you want to. The thing, it's like gliders. Like, gliders are cool, man. Stay up as long as you can. But make a video on a glider and stay up as long as you can. It's like the worst thing ever. I'd never want to watch it. So, with the bombers, you kind of got to do a little bit of everything. And it's almost more important to show a handful of landings and stuff. It does look cool. Matthew Smiley, the Flight Test Freedom Fox. What's the wingspan on that? I would actually like that, to have that. M Shag. Why don't you guys petition those guys, man? Get Pilot Ryan a whatever it's called. 20 minutes long. Wow. Emilio, what ADF do you recommend for a grass field? 1.5 inch cut weekly. Are you liking the military jets or sport jets? George Watts says Mikey likes it. Who are you on Instagram? I am GWatts44. Mikey's good to me, man. I actually, like, he sends me, he'll find stuff and send me links to it before anybody's seen it. You know what I mean? A lot of times. Freedom Fox 1.2, cool. He sent me, actually, the Rock Hobby has a new crawler coming out pretty soon. It's actually available on Banggood now. What is that? Was it 1/18th, Mikey? I think it was. Looks cool. Looks like a 70s, 80s kind of trail truck. What was the question? Shoot. Oh yeah, X-Max is still in one piece. I want to take it back out, actually. I've got, I was working on the mesh the other day. I never got to the bad segue. I did. It was Facebook. It was just the way I got there. It's not like it was a bad segue, but like me taking advantage of using it as a segue was kind of not, it was clumsy. But yeah, Instagram, go follow your friends. Go follow me. Yeah. And it's a good way to hit me on DMs too, because I eventually get them. Squirrel. Yep. Mikey likes it, says he's already following you, George. Mary Boozer, Jordan Dole. Yeah, man. Yeah, Matthew Smiley, I gotta fly it still. Every time I have a chance to fly it, it's not dark. Oh man, guys, there's so many questions, I miss them. There is a way to ask the flight test guys on their forum. They probably got a lot of people asking them for planes, man. The jet on the grass guy, I forget your name. Sport jet. You gotta look at the Free Wing Avanti, dude. You gotta look at the Free Wing Avanti. If you want something that's military and acts like a sport jet, look at the L-39. The FMS BAE Hawk 80mm is bad to the bone, but it is so scaled out that you might have a little bit of snagging on some of the wobbly bits that come off of the gear and things like that. And then I did want to talk about you too, buddy, to some of you guys a little, later on. I'm not gonna. I don't want to go super long today, but that's what I always say. So the thing is grooving. I'm loving it. We're talking about some planes and stuff. I love that. I mean, that's why we're here. Ryder X, what's your take on turbine jets, and will you be flying some in the future? I think they're awesome. They're not on my short list just because I'm so busy in the foamy game. But I think they're great. And I think if you're looking at turbines and you're thinking about getting into turbines, RC Jet, my buddy Andy, who is also the owner of RC Jet Works, runs HSD USA, HSD Jets USA, and that's where you go to get entry-level turbines. And he's got some other stuff too. Dave's RC, I love that dude. He still didn't, I don't think he responded. 55, I can't drive 55. Yep, it's a felony, Hangar 51. Nice. You guys all following each other, that's cool. Follow me too. Follow me too. Hashtag follow me too. Yeah, you can't hardly see this guy. Can you? Man, let me switch it. Might be better light. It's a monster, dudes. This thing is huge. totally do it like this. Sick. Dudes. So fun. Sick. It was a lot of fun. I got to get some extra tires. I mean, they're still holding up. I put 3 batteries through it and just ripped it. Before, I would probably get a big noisy like Warbird or PT19 or something that was gas or nitro before I would do turbine probably. How hard is it to click, Dave? Don't answer that. I know it's super hard. Tristan, am I familiar with Farm Policy? I'm not. Christopher Evanson, what's up? Tips and tricks. Nope. What's Farm Policy? Does it have to do with radio control airplanes and vehicles? I probably doesn't. Airvexed RC, looking at 70 millimeter before the end of year. How do I even know what that is? I like the FMS Yak 130 and the Freewing F-35, same price. Can't decide. Should I be concerned about no flaps on the F-35? On grass, Flying Habu, and Viper. Man, you have to think about... Nobody makes a good PT-19 that I know of. That's why I think you got to buy a wood one, Keller. Ryan Day, what's up? Good to see you, man. Must be new to the channel. Okay, Airvexed, on the Yak deal, you have to decide if you want an airplane that's short coupled and gonna make you be really diligent about not popping off too early. The Yak is cool, but it's really short, so it'll get in a bad attitude if you let it. Otherwise, it's awesome. Otherwise, it's awesome. And then the F-35, yeah, it doesn't have flaps. I think that thing probably benefits from the lightest packs you can stand to fly in it. But, you know, you just have to, I think both would be fine off of grass. You just have to decide which one you think you can handle best. Yeah, they do have a Legend. Legend does have a PT-19. It's like, I think it's 80-inch wingspan. And if things slow down for me, I might consider that one. Does it have suspension? Rider X, awesome. Mike Keller, yeah, look at Legend Hobby. And Ryan Day, yeah, loads of us have flown the Freewing jets. As a matter of fact, there are videos all over the Motion RC YouTube channel where I happen to be the dude flying them. And that's about 2 years ago back. It would have been me flying those things. And then on this channel right here, I've flowed loads of everybody's products and a lot of Freewing stuff. I urge you to check it out, subscribe, tap the bell, because we stay really busy over here. I mean, seriously, like uploads 2 or 3 times a week, not to mention the live stream. Like, dude, I'm nuts. You've come to the right place. Both of the new bad to the bone Freewing jets, we're going to be doing right here too, as soon as they come, as soon as they ship. So yeah, good to see you, man. Subscribe, dudes. It's free. Oh, that's awesome, Ryan Day. Jeremy Sean says the Yak 130 is much easier to fly. Do you think it lets you go, do you think it flies a little slower? Jeremy? Dude, Pearl Jam 26. That was my one regret from the videos, that I didn't have I didn't hold it, because it truly is. It's 1/7 scale. It's pretty big. Ryan Day, it's nice of you, man. Thank you. P51D can back up that fact. Awesome sauce. All right, so Instagram, and some of you guys, I know you're not. All right, Nathaniel Pulling. In my free wing MiG, you know what? I'll run whatever I got. You know what I'm saying? I've got some Admiral batteries. I've got some Smart batteries. I have some batteries from a new company, well, new to me, who is sending me some stuff. I don't know what they're sending me exactly, so maybe flying some of theirs. I love my Roaring Tops. So anything that I have pairs of is what I'll probably be running in that thing. Bill Andrew, what's up? Thanks, tips and tricks. Eric Quinn, no, I haven't. Do you mean PT-19 or PT-17? Biplane Steerman or old trainer? Jeremy, I appreciate that. Yeah, I can see what you mean by that. Yeah, so I regret not showing that size, you know, better. I'm probably, I mean, I definitely want to take out this thing again. I've got some decals getting made for it to kind of pimp the channel a little bit. And, oh yeah, that reminds me. I will be on CCXRC's live stream on Tuesday. He's a surface guy who does what we do here on the surface side. He does streams and awesome videos. The dude works in video for a living. His stuff is really slick, fun to watch. Great dude. I totally appreciate his angle. I've got all my favorites on surface. I've got guys who modify them to the teeth and send them superhuman distances and and airs, and then I've got guys who like rock them out of the box, and we'll show you how to tweak them and fix them, and then and other guys I like to watch too. So he's one of them. So CCXRC, if you guys like the surface stuff that I'm doing, come by and support the channel, support me. It's usually about 9:30, I believe, on CCXRC's YouTube channel. His logo looks like a train track. I actually put a link to his video in my video of this. His video of this is sick. It's awesome. I actually did a shout out to him and RC Sparks. Like, RC Sparks has like a gazillion subs. I think it's funny that I would like shout out somebody like that. But I mean, some of you guys maybe don't do RC Sparks if you're not doing surface. So retail on the Felony, Dave, it's salty. It's like $640 or something. I just heard Dave like have a heart attack. Yeah. I would say it's a crime, except it's like a good, it's a nice rig, man. Nice, air vexed. You're going to click through Pilot Ryan, of course. The Yak, watch our videos on the Yak, man. We've done the Yak and the Futura. Watch everybody else's videos on these things and see what you think. I loved the sound of that Inrunner and that Yak. That airframe just does something great to the motors. You know what I mean? It just sounds good. The Yak and the suspension out of the box, the Inrunner. We had a good time flying the FMS Yak. Yes, that's an F-22. You can build it for less than that, Bravo. What's up, Hubert? I have not, Michael Sherman. I'll tell you why in a second, too. Sean Forster, any guys answer this question for me? I know what I think. Any tips for modifying 70mm E-flite F-16 retracts with bent pins after I pancaked it on the runway the other day? All replacement parts showing back ordered. Strut pins, like coming right out of the trunnion, dime a dozen. I would just find almost anything the same diameter and go for it. Even if you got to grind in your own flat spots. You know what? On the WL Toys, I don't really have... I don't know what that is, so I don't have an opinion on it. That cover guy, thanks. Oh, okay. Josh Weaver, beautiful question. I love these. Josh Weaver asked a question I was missing from Christopher Evanson. If he has flown his E-flite F4 a good bit, what can he expect from an E-flite Su-30? So, other guys chime in on this, but I'll tell you what I think right away. I think he'll be okay if he prepares himself for a plane that feels heavier and at first will surprise you how locked in it is. You really have to give it inputs to do what you want it to do and stick with it until it does what you want it to do. Otherwise, you may not quite get what you're after. There's some things where you just like think it and then it pops up like an ad in your feed. It's like they already know what you're thinking, right? You mentioned contact lenses. Surprise, there's an ad for them, right? But, yeah, so the F4 is extremely light from E-flite on the wing loading, so it's really easy. Nice and light, really predictable. The Su-30 is awesome, but it does take diligence in a way. It's just heavier. It's bigger. I think I'm basing this opinion on the fact that I remember my first few flights being surprised at how much it took on, like, you know, the end of your... It's always a racetrack, right? You're flying a pattern in front of you. How much it took to actually get it around, you know what I mean? Because you got this big monster full flying stab that you think you're a little bit spooked at the beginning to get into it too much, like you're going to scrub off too much speed, but that thing's got the power. And, you know, just keep your throttle on and fly through the turns, you'll be fine. Just be aware that it definitely is going to take that stick to get it done. I think Bobby and I both fly ours at the 100% rate. Yeah, because you can use all the throw you can get. You know, guys who only have experience with free wing stuff are always surprised when, like, the E-flite or FMS stuff takes that 100%, you know. Because a lot of times free wing flightline stuff throws really big, whether it's mechanical or the servos or whatever. A lot of times guys default to the low rate in the book being their high rate when they're setting up their planes. So I hope that answered your question pretty good. Now I'm going to catch up on the chat here. You know what? I have Flight Simulator for RC and I don't use it that much, so I'm not sure I would use a real one that much unless I just had the time. And that I really don't. It's kind of hard to come by. Listen, dudes, I'm gonna run to the head real fast, and I'm gonna top off the coffee, and we'll be back. Ha. What are you talking about, Dave? Don't worry about the thumbs down, man. We get them all the time. I'll be back, guys. Talk amongst yourselves. Bruce Beamer, what you talking about? Why is that funny, Bruce? We talking about pizza for? Catching up, y'all. Boss 223 for pinup girl stuff. You really ought to look at Mary Boozer's Teespring store. Actually, he probably has a merch shelf under his videos on his channel, which will take you right there. And if you don't see what you like, contact him, because Papa will do a custom job, I'm sure. All right, so if I miss something, bring it back. Dave's RC was just talking about something crazy, 500 bucks. What, if somebody fesses up to the thumbs down? I did it. 500 bucks, lay it on me. I did it. Cali Graphics, yeah. So I think there are other Highlander. I think there are other people who do decals if Cali's ever too busy. Yeah, check out Mary Boozer, man. You guys know Star Wars? I made Snoke. What are the stick movements for those big barrel rolls you do, Ryan? I'll tell you. Great question, and you see me smile when you ask it. So, also check out the video of how to do it on my playlist that's like vintage training films from World War II. And I think there's a video of a T6, how to do a barrel roll. So, so the way I do it, I cheat just a little, and I'll tell you how. After my phone just got fixed today, and so I'm kind of curious what is going on a little bit. Thank you, George, for that contribution, my friend. Michael Noland, you must watch X-Jet. Do you watch X-Jet, dude? This is a topic, too, that I guess I want to hear everybody's take on, even though your answer may not matter. Guys, there's a lot of work to make in YouTube. Is it so much is it really that big a deal that there's mid-roll ads in the thing? I mean, Motion's doing ads now. You giving them hell? I don't know. I mean, enough people would have to really throw a fit. But I would be, if I changed it, I would do it indignantly. Because I think it's absolutely kind of awful to get beat up over trying to make a little change doing what you like. Love RC, yeah, you know what? Some people are really good at polarizing an audience. Like, I mean, I like them, but I also feel like, man, is the whole job just to like, it's almost like I feel like Facebook, like I'm still on Facebook when I'm watching that stuff. The pissing match between the CAA and all that. Oh, man. I don't care for it. Give me airplane stuff. You know, or surface stuff or hobby stuff. It's cool if folks are into it. I can't do it. And it's like, here he is polarizing everybody about this mid-roll business. How big's his channel? Huge. It's like when a celebrity talks to you about virtue. What do you know from your glass house? You know what I mean? or your gated community. Don't talk to me about what it's like down here. Working class. I mean, it's kind of like that. I don't want to hear it. Man. I mean, if that's all it takes to lose you, I just didn't have you in the first place. So, I won't be a part of that bending over because one guy's pissed about mid-roll ads. It's too bad. It's too bad because he'll turn it into an issue where we're all got to hear about having them. Guys, it's nice to get a little compensation for being here. So, anyway. Don't get me going on that one. Highlander. So, I don't know, Mike, maybe. I gotta get some rest. Let's see. There's some like really good airplane question I let go, but I wanna get back to it. Yeah, the new Pitts looks awesome. Hangar 9. Let's see. I mean, I don't like ads either, but it's like I understand why they're on people's channels. You just skip them as soon as you get a chance. It's cool. All right, cool. So we can move on from there. You guys that have channels, listen. This won't take long. Oh, thank you, Hubert. Thank you. All right, the way I cheat the barrel roll. So let's explain first what a barrel roll is and how it differs from a roll. I was hoping to have something little tiny one. Let me get out something. Let's do it. Let's get out something. I gotta fly this one soon too. I gotta get this one out and play with it. But this will be nice. I'll have something to illustrate with. Big barrel roll stick movements. All right. So, a regular roll, some would call it a flick roll or an axial roll, is exactly what it sounds like. It's axial. So, it's staying put as best you can. Now, even on a flick roll, you're going to lose a little bit of altitude when you're here, so guys will give it a little bit of down elevator to keep, especially on a slow roll, some down elevator to keep it from sinking a bunch and losing a bunch of altitude, right? But basically, that's a flick roll or an axial roll, just an aileron roll, right? A barrel roll, the way I do them, I give it a little bit of rudder and come up this way, and then I come back. This is how I do it. And then I give it, just to give me a head start, like I come up the side of the barrel a little bit over here. But I'll just explain how I do it. And then so then I give it right, rudder, and aileron. And instead of an axial roll, I'm climbing up the inside of the barrel, right, with the rudder. And the aileron too. And same thing at the top. Maybe, it depends how fast you do it, you might need a little bit of down stick to keep from sinking. But if you're swinging up and through right, you've got kind of that swing energy. And then, same thing, you're going to come back down the other side. If you're doing it right, you're still in the right rudder a little bit, and then you can kind of relax that rudder, and here you are back to normal. And on a barrel roll that's done right, you're not going to really lose any altitude either. There's always elevator involved too, guys. I mean, everything is always involved in this stuff. But So the reason I swing a little left first is just to give myself a little bit of a head start on this swing around the inside of a barrel. So that's, I did it out of the shot a little. That's what a barrel roll is. So that makes a lot of sense, right? Axial rolls right here, you know, flick roll, even if you're losing altitude. Some of the you can still pull this stuff off and miss the finesse. As long as you're doing it a few mistakes high, it won't matter. You'll recover, you'll be fine. But that's it for me. That's it. And I guarantee you 100% that I watched those training films from World War II to learn how to do it. And I've told the story before of when I was a kid in the back seat of a T6. Grandpa's flying. He says, we're gonna do some rolls and stuff today. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm 8. And I'm expecting like it to be kind of over quick, you know, like just a, you know, just like a flick roll, like an aileron roll. I didn't know. Oh my gosh. He's going like this and he kicks it up. And it's just like the foreverest, like it's just sucking you down into your seat too the whole time. And then your throat's in your stomach. And then when you're up here, your stomach's in your throat. And then when you come back down this side, you get stuck down in your seat again, and then you eventually settle and fly. So, I've been using aileron. What's that mean? Aileron and up elevator for mine. If it's working, it's working. But if you're learning it in a real plane, they're going to have rudders involved in it. So that's what I'm doing, and I like to do them. I'm always heading south, so I'm always heading away from me, and it's kind of one way how I judge if my deflections are too much or not, or even not enough. If I can't do a big one, like if it's too tight, it's too fast, I got too much throw, is how I feel. You know what I mean? If it just doesn't make it happen, I either didn't have enough speed or enough deflection. So that's kind of my thing. But I usually always do them flying south away from me, so I'm like behind it, so I can see what's going on really good. I think if I were doing it in front of myself, I might be able to get disoriented, so to say. You know what I mean? So that's my take on that. That's my take on that. Barrel rolls take practice. And, you know, that's a good one for the simulator, and do it up high. Watch those training films. They really are amazing. They can help your model flying. I mean, yeah, you don't need to know the manifold pressure of a T6, you know, but it's okay that you do, right? And they're going to show you, and they have reference lines and like the road, like all kinds of reference barriers to help you kind of gauge if you're doing a good job. Now, again, those are real planes. You're not in it. So for me, the best way to gauge if I'm doing a decent barrel roll is to do it around the moon, which I've done, or, you know, flying away from me. And you don't have to swing a little left first. You can try it from straight and level, but I don't know why. That's just how I do it. I kind of cheat a little bit left, and then I come swinging because I want to have a nice. I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm just doing the best I can. But who said it? Spitfire and Mustang. Spitfire does a beautiful barrel roll. Oh yeah, Michael. I mean, you're always going to pull up nose on really any kind of roll, even a flick roll or an axial roll, to keep from losing a bunch of altitude. If you're straight and level and you just go for the roll, you are gonna lose altitude, even if you give it the down when you're in the inverted piece. So and again, in these training films, they say the same stuff. you're going to pull up a little nose, you know, like you said, Sherman, and then go for the maneuver usually, you know. So, yeah, pulling up a little bit left is what I do. Pull up a little bit left and then up and around. I mean, it's everything. It's rudder, it's aileron, it's the whole deal. And then try to come out at where you entered it at. And if you get close, you win. That's the thing. There's no right answer, you know what I mean? As long as you don't crash it, you're doing great. 30 degrees sounds like a lot, but yeah, as long as you're pulling your nose up a little bit. If I'm doing a slow roll, any rolls, especially a slow roll, I'm going to pull my nose up a little bit first. And if I'm really comfortable with the plane, I'm going to do the slow roll with rudder also. And then, of course, down stick upside down. And then you can cheat the back end, but a little bit rudder opposite, coming around the other way. And then hopefully, you know, slow roll was nice and smooth. And you exited that maneuver at the same altitude that you went into it. You're doing awesome if you can do it that way. However, before you have that kind of finesse to be able to, I think knife edges, practice the knife edges both directions are good practice for a big crazy slow roll like that, you know. But if a guy doesn't quite have his chops on the rudder yet, which is understandable, a lot of guys maybe don't, you can cheat a slow roll. Pulling up, you're going to pull up almost every time no matter what anyway. Pull up a little bit. Don't maybe go so slow on this part. Get yourself inverted at almost as, not as quick as you can, but pull up a little bit. Don't do rudder at all. Get yourself inverted, down stick, maintain your altitude. And before you roll the rest of the way, a little bit more down stick, and you'll exit at the same like altitude. And you can do a slow roll-ish without rudder at all if you cheat it right. You know what I'm saying? This is why I'm here, guys. Craig, you're gonna kill me. My grandpa did know what was going on, Craig. In a big way. Jeremy Sean says, able to knife edge the SU-30, which was surprising to me. Lifting body jets do barrel rolls so much different. It's like you're flying straight into the roll. The back end swings funny on jets sometimes. That's kind of surprising. Yeah, George. I think practicing knife edges both directions and both directions, right? So like a right rudder one coming from the right and a right rudder one coming from the left. So both directions like that, and also both directions like a right rudder one from the right and a left rudder one from the right. Yeah, that will help. This is also where simulators come in as like a super great way to burn that muscle memory into your vocabulary, because that's what it is, guys. It's language. It's paying attention to these little nuances and the language these planes will give you and indicate. They tell you what they need if you pay attention. So many new faces here, guys. I know I'm just like on a riff right now. Good to see you in here. Fog City, what is up? Keith Christie, Jay Burr, I believe you say you were new in here. Thanks for coming by. Che, Hamilton's Hangar in the house. Good to see you, man. Loving it. I'm in a great mood tonight, guys. Hugo, what's confusing, my friend? Well, think about the pattern. So, listen, it's simple. Practice a right rudder knife edge. I mean, if you're really got your chops, you can push it and come around, or pull it and come around the other way. And I mean, if you're really on your game, you can do, you know, right rudder knife edge for the whole circuit. This is why simulators are good, because it can easily end not well, you know. But what I think we're saying, Hugo, is to practice the right rudder knife edge coming from the right and coming from the left. Just like you should practice the left rudder knife edge coming from the right and coming from the left. And if that still doesn't make sense, I'm the pilot. So if I'm doing a right rudder knife edge, I'm seeing the top of the plane. But if I stay in that knife edge and I'm good enough, or I'm on the simulator and I'm able to either push with the elevator and come around this way, or pull elevator and come this way, either way, now I'm coming from the left, still in a right rudder knife edge, but I'm seeing the belly instead of the top. That's what George is talking about. And I'm saying practice also left rudder input knife edge. So it's still the same deal, but it's coming from the other way. And if I stay in a left rudder, but I now, instead of coming from my left, I'm coming from my right, now I just did the same thing, where on the one pass I saw the top and on the other pass I saw the belly, but it was still a left rudder input. On that one. Left rudder, do both. Fog City, I haven't flown it yet, so I really do not know. The T6 will take you to school, man. That's insane to you, Jeremy? What do you mean? Bill Andrew, thank you, man. Jay Bird, the P39 is totally sick. Yeah, some planes will do that. You can do like knife edge loops if it's got enough throw. Hugo, I think it makes sense now, probably. Let's see. Jay Bird wants to know if anybody flies FPV or GPS. I'm sure some guys do. Hamilton flew his T-45 a couple flights today. Hubert, man, no problem. Great question. I love that stuff, and I think every now and then I forget why I'm here, and maybe so do you guys sometimes. But it's like, that's the stuff. Thank you, Eric Quinn. Yeah, you know, I wanted to, listen, I like that P39. So, listen, I don't need to fly off of grass. Sometimes I do. I just wanted another excuse to have make another video on that P39. So I was like, well, I brought it. Let's put it off of grass. But I urge you to check out my other 4S flight. That wasn't that long ago on that P39. It was a ripper. That was fun. I was really ripping it on that day. And then the grass flight was cool. I like the gear pass. Rage Teg. I just clicked on, and the first thing I noticed is that beautiful F-22. Yeah, man. Lots of videos of it right here on the channel. And I got the new one in the box that has the high performance system that will be getting out in front of the camera pretty soon. Whew. Sherman, that's hot. Yeah, this week was really hot for Indiana. That P39 all of a sudden's a hot ticket, guys. I don't know, man. Maybe somebody made some videos of it. Wreckham Roy and GB, Pilot Ryan. It was on sale also for a minute while supplies last. Yeah, P39 is sick. And who is it that put, I think, a Freewing F-15 nose strut on it? I totally want to do that, but I actually want someone else to do it and then give it to me. I'm too stinking busy. 3D planes with knife edge loop, no problem. As you add power, it will go up. If you switch rudder over the top, it will come back like a knife edge Cuban. Yeah, man, on those planes, a lot of times I will, I'll go to my low rate kind of rudder because I want to hold it more than I want to do the climb. What, the Rock Hobby yellow one, dude? What are you talking about? P39 Rage? Pilot Jerry flew at 2 different clubs. Eric Quinn did the gear mod. Nice. So that's the F-15 nose strut. You want to see a jet knife edge loop. Bill Andrew, can I make the P-39 my second bird? What was your first airplane, Bill? That's the question. It's a great question. Joe Pellegrino in the house. What is up? We get any new members tonight? Welcome. I don't see the YouTube chat. I see my Streamlabs chat. So I do not know if it happened. Rage. This is the 90mm F-22 behind me. Yeah, I'm totally all about. Your first plane is a Carbon Cub S2 P-39. I think you can. I think you can on 3S. Are you flying in safe, Bill, or are you in experience mode? Does that Carbon Cub have the progressive modes? The beginner, intermediate, and so on, expert? That's my question. And answer me, Bill, because I want to know. We can get you fixed up. Adam, what's up? He says. Steve Gubala, hello, Pilot Ryan, and everyone else. Jeremy, that would be sick. I'm too much of a pushy. Oh, to knife edge my jets. I got you. Oh, I got you, Rage. Yeah, Joe, I hear you, man. I was painting on the... See, we're homeschooling, man, so I'm painting in the classroom. You're still in safe mode. All right, Bill, here's the deal. You need to own that Cub in experienced mode. All right? Touch and goes, all that stuff. Get it dialed in. Get it dialed in on experience mode. It's cool if you need safe, flip it back on. Don't crash a plane over it, but that's my best advice. Now, P-39 does have safe select. So there's that. And safe select is basically beginner mode. Kind of freak out, right? So you flip it into safe select and it's beginner mode. It's safe. But you always have AS3X regardless of whatever on the P-39. But if you're in safe mode, the reason I say I want you to get experience mode, you already know kind of how the plane flies, but you're going to feel that it flies a lot different in experience mode on that Cub. Get yourself in experience, get high to be safe, get in experience mode, see what's up. Sometimes if you have to trim a plane, that's when it's going to present itself because it's so dialed in beginner mode that you never know it's out of trim because it's always flying level. One thing too that I really want you to get used to is the fact that, yep, good, do intermediate, all that stuff. As soon as safe and intermediate, all the modes, I love it. It's great. It's helpful. But my advice to anybody is to get out of it as soon as they can, because you know what kind of input that thing takes in beginner mode to come back around to yourself. It almost takes all the stick you have. Of course, if you coordinate the turn, which a new guy's not usually doing, if you coordinate the turn, you can turn in a tighter radius. But the point of the matter is, it takes so much stick input in beginner mode to bring that thing back around to come back another lap, right? So you're learning how to oversteer if you don't get yourself out of it soon. So what you're going to notice when you're flying your Cub in experienced mode is that it does not take near as much input to do what you want to do when you have full authority. So I want you to learn and earn that Cub in experience mode, so you can fine tune and finesse that muscle memory, so you're not ham-fisting the son of a gun over to bring it around. Because one thing that'll get a guy in trouble is he'll feel like he's safe. Stands for sensory assisted flight envelope, but none of that matters if there's not airspeed. So a guy will think he's safe because he can't roll it over or spin it in. But if you are too slow, you're in beginner mode, and that turn is just forever, and you're too slow, you're scrubbing off speed, that thing will still spin in if you don't have the airspeed to support the attitude. So anyway, without a whole lot of words, own that Cub, no matter what plane you go to next. This isn't a thing about the P-39 specifically. This is anybody who's been on safe and is moving on. So beginner mode to save your plane on a windy day, great. Beginner mode when you're brand new, you've never flown before, all that stuff is great. I'm not dissing on that tech. I love it. I think it's good for the hobby. But I think, and it's cool, the P-39 is a good next step, or anything that has Safe Select or the AS3X is a great next step for somebody who's already cutting their teeth on that killer Spektrum technology. Plus, you keep in the family with your radio, all that stuff is good. So, long story short, wean off of that stuff. Own that Cub on experience mode. You're gonna learn a lot. You might feel like you've plateaued and you're done learning on that plane. You're probably not. So man, cut it off. Own that son of a gun. Be able to consistently bring it in and all those things. And then get your P-39 dialed in and put Safe Select in it where it's available if you want it. But do the same thing with that. Get it up and get some altitude and practice. You know what I mean? I hope that helped. We give a lot of that advice to guys, and I am so happy for anything that gets people up in the air and coming back, because it can be discouraging, and only the tenacious. I learned on bullshit foamies back in the beginning. There was none of like foamies and electrics were like new. This is 2009-ish. They're new to me anyway, and brushed systems on nickel metal batteries. They didn't have the power. What's going on? I don't know about any gift card. All right, Jermaine, what is up, dude? Confidence is key. And those things, people want to call it a crutch. What's a crutch do? It supports you. It holds you up. If this is what you need to have the confidence to proceed, then more power to you. You know what I mean? We got people telling us how to feel and think all over the place. Don't let somebody tell you what to do in your hobby. Now, you want to learn how to wean off and cut your teeth and move on, ask me. But there ain't no shame in that game. None. Airvex says, the transition between beginner and experience mode is all about more airspeed under most conditions. I tip stalled and crashed my Aeroscout a lot because I didn't understand the difference. So, slow speed in beginner mode, here we go. It's bank limited. You can go slower because you haven't lost the lift in the bank as much as when you're like this. If you're banked like this, it takes way more speed to come through and way more elevator. If you're going just as slow like this when you have less lift, you're going to lose it. Yeah. Breakthrough plane. You know what, man? I feel like there's a lot of hard knock planes that taught me a lot. The first breakthrough was probably the GWS P40. I had it fast. Flying on 2200s at the time, 3S, kind of a big brushless, motor for the first time. Powerful, so torquey. Had to hand launch it and didn't know about timers. So, Dad, this is true. He's still in here probably. So, learn how to hand launch, learn how to CG the plane, learn how to fly it, and then learn how to not stretch the glide. Because I would fly that battery out of power, and if it wasn't facing the way I wanted it to land at my feet, I would stretch the glide too far, too slow, holding it up, base leg, far away, snap rolls on the base leg, far away, losing it. Instead of just relaxing, letting the nose come on down and fly the glide. So that's the GWS P40 was a big one. After that, though, I will always kind of go back to, I thought I was pretty good on the Snorton Bull. It was called Park Zone at the time. The 1100 millimeter Snorton Bull. Retracts and flaps. You had to add them, but that P-47s fly good. And I got to where I could, that thing flew really, and this is no AS3X. Back then the Bynum Flies came with a crappy little green 2200 battery that was never enough in the way of weight. I saw a guy, I think his name was Huff Daddy, real name Mark, on RC Groups. He had like a 2600 Turnigy. Fit perfect in there without carving it up. I bought two right away. And always flew with those batteries. So I did myself a favor right away by having nose weight on it. And also, that was a review model for a magazine. So I felt obligated to have a point of reference and know what I was talking about and actually follow the book and set up the flaps and the rates. It was the first time I actually did dual rates on anything was that plane. And I think maybe one of the first times I dialed in Expo. I think it might have called for it. But yeah, that P-47 was probably one of the first ones, that really made me feel like I got this. You know what I mean? Oh, dude. The P40, the FMS P40 is amazing. I would buy another one in a heartbeat if I killed mine. Without question. Without question. Love that. Love how that thing flies. Love how that thing flies. Let's see. Somebody said something about maidens. Oh, talk about your maiden procedures as well as the test. Well, nice, Brian. Yeah, I mean, the very, very, very first plane that I ever really had successful stick time, that's a different question, was my dad's, what was it, Sky Dragon? What was that thing called, dude? Dad, what was that thing called? Arctech made it. Wing Dragon. Wing Dragon. And then we got slow sticks from GWS, which were easy to fly and whatever. So that was like my first real stick time besides simulator, you know. So Michael Sherman, I honestly don't do anything on my maidens other than set them up, honestly, by the book, unless I just think the book is baloney. Make sure my directions are correct. Timer set. Flaps, you know, are all done. I do them up by the book, especially when the books are good. The Horizon stuff, you know, FMS stuff. Everybody's books are pretty decent right now. A lot of times I know right away on a free wing thing that I'm going to probably not use the high rate because I feel like it's a lot. Oh, cool, Dad. Awesome. Yeah. Dad got the slow stick back up this week. I hope you changed the rubber bands. Did you take away... yours doesn't have rubber bands on it. Didn't you like zip tie it and skip all that? First plane was an Ultra Micro Carbon Cub SS, and it was awesome to learn on, says Daryl. I'm flying my Park Zone P47 with the retracts and flaps using a 3S 2200 Smart Pack without any balance issues. The only thing I never seem to need flaps. Yeah. I like them. You guys ought to know by now. Nose heavy for me on about everything. So I guess that's one thing as far as CG goes. I usually am always going to be forward on CG. For me, CG, Michael Sherman, here's my CG tests. It's very basic. One is more important than the other. It does not bother me if an airplane needs downstick when it's inverted. I expect it to, unless it's a biplane, high wing, or a symmetrical airfoil like 3D plane. So for me, the true where the rubber meets the road is how does it act out of the power. Now, you trim them for the flight you want. Like, listen, I'm going to trim my planes to... Now, some of the beginner planes, they say trim them for level flight at like half throttle, a little more than half throttle. That's fine. But when I'm ripping around airplanes, I'm trimming them for ripping them around. Full throttle Johnny. I expect when I slow that plane down that I need a little bit of backstick. So that's like not weird for me. So... for me, the big test on CG is how does it act out of the power? Is it, or on approach, same kind of thing, right? At least that's how I initiate my glide slope is to see what this thing does out of the power. So if it sinks like crazy, I'm going to move the CG back next time. You know what I mean? A little bit. I mean, I want them to fly well and balanced, but I have flown some stuff out of the box on recommendations that were a handful and needed to be more on the CG. So what I want out of a plane, regardless, is a nice steady approach. So if I get out of the power and I'm coming in on the approach and the tail is sinking like crazy, flaps or not, whatever, it's not ever because I'm tail heavy. You know what I'm saying? It's never really because I'm tail heavy. Because I always make sure I'm usually right in the middle or forward on that range. So if a plane is coming in on approach and it's tail heavy, it's kind of wallowing around, it seems like it never wants to land, that's when I'm going to mix in a little bit of down with the flaps perhaps, to give it what I consider to be a more predictable, steady, settled angle of descent. That way it's intuitive when I get close to the bottom to give it some upstick, to scrub off, hit the flare, level it off, whatever. So that's kind of my deal. So that's where CG to me is one of the most important things. If an airplane takes a tremendous amount of up, down stick inverted, I mean, you know your nose heavy then. There's all kinds of ways to test for CG, but most of it, I don't think any of it matters until you're doing maneuvers or landings. I mean, if you're, there's the 45-degree dive test, there's all kinds of stuff. And Camaro, we'll dig into this a little bit more. If let's say your plane needs up trim, that doesn't necessarily mean it was nose heavy. It could just be the elevator wasn't set to a neutral that at once. You know, if you speed the plane up and it climbs like crazy, well, your elevator probably needs trimmed down, is what's up. If you speed up and the thing noses down, I would trim it for level flight. You know what I mean? At speed. So let's help out Camaro. I'm kind of a green pilot. 1 into flying. Don't use safe. So how do you know your nose heavy? Plane wants to go nose down, then have to trim it. Definitely check the books out as a point of reference. Not that it's always the golden rule. See where you're at. That's one way I kind of know what to expect, Sherman, is that I do. The CG needs to always be, it seems like always, in the fattest part of the wing, right? The fattest part of the airfoil. If I don't have any book at all ever, I'm going to the fattest part of the airfoil and then moving forward a 1/4 inch or so and giving it a shot. You can kind of tell, you know what I mean, if something's way out of whack on the ground. And then, you know, in the air, it's going to tell you what you need too. So if, let's say, you're flying and you're trimming it, this, I'm talking to Camaro here and everyone. You got a plane that you have to trim it a bunch. Let's say it's going nose down. That was the example you used, right? You're flying full speed because you expect the nose to go down if you're not holding up elevator and you're going really slow. The whole plane will lose its altitude. Not necessarily nose down, but kind of sort of same thing. If you're going really fast, full speed, and it's nosing down, and you trim it for level flight, okay? When you come down to the ground and you look at it, if it's crazy visible amount of up trim, you probably are nose heavy. Unless some jets just want a tremendous amount of up elevator at neutral. So that statement pertains more to, I would say, prop planes, whether it be civilian or warbird. You guys agree with me on that one? Exactly, George. Or right there in front of the landing gear, you know, right there in front of the retracts. Sometimes on the jet, sometimes behind them, you know. But right there. Richard, we're definitely doing the MiG-29 and the new Gripen, whatever. The Flex F-105, if they want to sponsor an episode and a live stream and stuff, I'd be glad to do it. But I'm not gonna chase that down. I'm not gonna chase that one down. It looks cool. I'd like to try it. Flaps down, coming into land, and it climbs hard when flaps are down. Elevator mix with flaps to correct it. That's what I'd do. And on a high wing civilian, you can always expect that. Some guys will say, just slow down. Okay, yeah, you can only slow down so much. And the thing is, yes, you'll slow down or need to slow down and you won't see it as bad. But now you're kind of flirting with the stall too. You're still going to have to push your nose down to get enough speed to fly right, or you're going to probably bounce that son of a gun anyhow. So just mix it in. Dude, I mix it in, and it doesn't matter how fast I'm going. Basically, you guys see it in my videos if you're paying attention. I'll say when I drop the flaps, and sometimes the pitch doesn't change at all, neither does the altitude. Sometimes the pitch doesn't change at all, but because I am at speed, I get a bunch of lift, but I still have the same like angle of attack and attitude that I want for my approaches. So you can make these things do what you want. I've had planes that I did not like on their approaches, and you can dial them in to do what you want them to. A little bit of nose down, a little bit of predictable. I mean, planes that fly like a baby doll can be a son of a gun on the approach, but can be easily tamed with a little bit of slickness. Yeah, Jeremy, pushing nose down yourself on landings does make it so much more complicated. It's counterintuitive. And what happens when you relax that down pressure is it's coming up anyway, which is asking for kind of stall problems. If you're doing cross control too, it's gotten very complicated. And to me, it seems very counterintuitive. I never got my license, but I had enough lessons where it was always hold it off. And it's always the stick in your gut. And so I don't want to push down when I'm trying to hold it off. I mean, the whole idea, you're coming in and you're going to hold it off, hit the flare or ground effect, or level it off for a nice wheel landing. Pushing down to make that happen sounds to me like a plane that's not set up right. Metro Drones, by the way, thank you so much for that super chat. I'm sorry I didn't say anything earlier. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, George. Guys, this is my favorite stuff right now we're talking about. I don't know, Barry. Not for me. I don't want to push anything down. Whether it's a tail dragger or a trike. They all have their sweet spot. I mean, here's what's beautiful. Like, some guys are fine with that. That's cool. Do it. That's fine. Not me. And anybody asking me how to do it, I'm not going to recommend it. But have I flown Ultra Micro Extra or Yak 54? I have not. That's right, George. Having to push down can be a sign of being tail heavy. It can be. It absolutely can be. I remember the Sea Furies, Critical Mass, and the Sea Fury Flightline. Awesome flying planes. I have a 4004S in that son of a gun, and on landing it was just a nightmare for me. So I don't think it was tail heavy. Sometimes it's incidence, trim on the elevator, whatever. But I noticed that on a few different Sea Furies, right? So I mixed in like 2 or 3% down elevator and went from dreading the landing part, because I'm doing videos. The son of a bitch never want to land. I'm doing videos and never want to come down. I'm a guy who knows how to fly okay. But I was like, man, I could not get these things to look good. They fly amazing, but I could not get it to look good on approach without pushing down stick, which I hate. So I mixed in some, seriously, it was single digits, 2 or 3%. I don't know if the videos are still out there, man, but a little bit of down mix settled it down. And that was a case where it's just kind of how that plane acts with flaps. And it wasn't tail heavy because I had a 4000 in it. But there's so many things. It doesn't matter what or why, but the thing that matters is how, and that you can make them behave the way you want. Honestly, the 4000 being in the front could have been too nose heavy, which means I've got a bunch of up trim, which means slowing down with flaps on and stuff, the nose is kind of up. Could be. Doesn't matter though. Trim in, mix in a little bit of down, and the thing is really, you know, nice. Just dropped 8S Arma. What do you got, Brian? Outcast? You just buy one, bro? Youngblood, see you later, man. Let's see. Pilot-induced oscillation on landing is a key bad habit to lose. That's exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about how much I appreciate a locked-in, settled descent angle. It's not waffling in the groove. You know what I mean? Not being oversteered. It's all good. Nice, Jeremy. Hey, it's all learning and whatever it takes to make it work for a person. I mean, I remember one guy early on the big A10 who was like dead sticking every landing and owned it. It was amazing. Really good. Most guys aren't going to dead stick in that twin 80mm A10 and do as good as that guy. That worked for him, but like, no, I'm not teaching a guy how to do it that way. That's cool if he wants to. I'll never tell him he's wrong, you know, because it's working for him. But when a guy like that acts like his way's the only way, now there's a bit of an issue. But still, I'm not the police. So listen, I got a bunch of you in here. I mean, the guy was owning it, though. I mean, it was early on in the A10's life, out in the middle of looked like a farm, fields, but like a road through the middle. I don't remember who it was, but the dude was owning it on the A10. Yeah. But never how I would have a guy do it. And I did a touch and go clinic on the A10 right here on this channel, and listen to the throttle. You got to read the language and give it what it needs. So multiple landings, multiple touch and goes, couple landings. You don't hear a whole lot of motor, engine, because I had the speed, because of the altitude where I started the approach, whatever. I liked my glide. It was all good. Some, I had to pour it back in. I was sinking too fast. You can hear the throttle blip. Maybe a couple of them, it was really steady the whole time, which seemed really perfect. But it's whatever it takes. There's no one way. Yeah, the dude was owning it. You know what I mean? But they were also coming in kind of hot to do it well. A dead stick. Planes will fly slower than they will glide well. That's what the thrust is about. On a glide without power, there's no thrust. You're left with just two, gravity and lift. At least with the thrust, you can manufacture lift without having to have the airspeed to sustain it, and you can fly slower than it will glide well. And that's the trick also, to not bouncing the thing coming in too fast. You're going to bounce them too slow, and you're going to bounce them too fast. Eddie K, thank you, man. Yeah, man, dead sticking is not usually good regardless. The margin is too small to get it right. Some guys can nail it, but it's not how real ones do it. You know? Ha! I hear you, Sherman. Let's see. Yeah, Expo's great. Talking to Lil Nate and Guniac, they both really load up the Expo on the rudder, and it helps them steer straight and not tip their birds. It sounds like on rollout and stuff. So, how many YouTubers in here, real quick? I just want to plug this TubeBuddy. Does anybody want to hear that? Let me know with emojis. I just want to plug it a little bit. I got a couple screenshots of what it looks like, actually. What I see. If you guys wanted to see what I see on TubeBuddy, which helps me optimize my reach on YouTube and my SEO. Also streamlines my workflow tremendously. Saves me a lot of time. Throttle is altitude and pitch is speed. Yes, and you need them both for either one to work. Right? Roy wants it. Right on. Do you have the free TubeBuddy Air Marshal, or did you pop on the one you buy? Somebody did. I actually get it's an affiliate deal too, where if somebody uses it, it buys the program, I get a small commission. Right, George. So maybe I should be asking Air Marshal for this, but would a Timber X receiver work in a Timber Turbo 1.5? I don't know the answer. Air Marshal, go for it, bro. Awesome. So, all right, cool. Explain it. Okay. TubeBuddy Boss 223 is integrates with a guy's YouTube channel to help them optimize their reach by utilizing all of the feature benefits that the platform of YouTube offers us in the way of like a list of best practices, so you can see that you're doing things right or if you're doing them wrong. I can also see other channels' SEO score. Here's the example. Let's do this real quick. It won't take too long. So I'm going to show you guys a screenshot from a video on YouTube that's not my video. So in this screenshot, this is just an ad that's playing on the front of their video. But over to the right, you can see this dashboard. And it's got, you know, it tells me how they're doing, what they're uploading, all that stuff. But the most important thing is where I have that black box and the SEO score. So I hovered over their SEO score, and I can see what they're doing right and where they're lacking. Also, I can see their best practices underneath where it says 2.7 million views or whatever. I can see their best practices and which ones are checked and which ones are not. And also I can see right there their tags they're using, which is their keywords deal. And notice on the bottom right, I have the option for like to copy. I can straight up copy these tags and import them in my video, which I'm going to show you next. So let's say I copied those tags. I can go into my video, and down there below the tags it says import. I click import and I can access a list of, I have multiple tag lists. And the idea is, if you look at that tag list, you can see how there's 500 characters that you can use. I use almost all of those characters every time in the way of SEO. And that's to use relevant terms, keywords, also words that are in the title and all of those things to optimize my reach on YouTube. So you see that window on the bottom that says tag tools. If I click import, I can go to my multiple tag lists, pick one that I want, and it will straight up input 500 characters worth of tags that I've chosen. And I don't have to put those in one at a time. I'm just working off tag lists. And then to the right, you can see my best practices. And I can tell 9 out of 13 are done. You know what I mean? That I'm doing everything right. I can see this is integrated with YouTube. So that's what TubeBuddy is. So let me get back to the good stuff here. So we'll transition back to that's kind of weird. It should be me, but it's not. Yeah, you still have to have good content, obviously. Let's see. Why aren't these going away, dude? Oh, duh. There we go. Sorry, y'all. Okay, there we go. So, if anyone wants that back, I can show you again. But that's what TubeBuddy is. And anybody interested in utilizing that for their own workflow or growth on YouTube, the link is in the description of this video. Check it out. Jeremy Sean, you're really nice, man. I appreciate that comment, dude. George, yes, those are cool metrics. And so, guys, I give it away all the time. So let me tell you how I rank my videos, being a small channel compared to most. I'm a small channel at almost 13,000 subs. I'm going to nerd out a little bit. I love it. Google, #1 search engine in the world. Owns YouTube, #2 search engine in the world. Keywords and all this stuff matters, right? Also thumbnails, everything, and don't suck and all that. But if I have a video I'm putting out on the felony or any product, I can go to the search bar in Google and type in Arma Felony, you know. And then you know how it is. You can select all, shopping, images, videos. So I can click videos and see what's the top ranking video, right? And I always look down deep. Not always do I go for the first one. But usually the first one is the one. Sometimes there's a reason one can be #1 ranking, but maybe it's no good. It's only because it's new is it #1. So I will go to the one that I think is performing the best altogether. But usually it's the top couple. So I can, like I say, Google, type in the product, click video, see what that video is. And I'll also go to YouTube, search bar, type in the name of the product and see what video pops up. It's usually the same one. I can see their tags. I can see if they're doing good on their SEO. I can see if they've done their best practices. And what I'll do, sometimes their tag list sucks. I'll copy that list anyway, put it in my video, tweak it, make it better, add some. I'll make sure that I do all the best practices. I'll make sure that I'm doing the, get my SEO score green and close to 100 or 100, and let it rip. And then hope that y'all go watch this stuff and comment and like and share it out. So I've told guys this, and they're doing really well. The guys who do this stuff are doing pretty good. Now, it's awesome that their content doesn't suck in the first place, but if you look at Air Marshal and Boozers, these guys definitely had the aptitude to absorb what it is I was telling them and to do it. Jeff's Custom's good at doing it too. There's a lot of guys that are getting pretty good at doing it. But that's how you do it. So click the link if you want to do it yourself as well. Jason, it is an F-22 behind me. And that one is going to go back in the box, and it's going to RC Air Marshal. And then I'm building a new one here pretty soon that's got a different motor in it and is a little better off. A little better off. Oh goodness, George. TubeBuddy has a totally different context when Air Marshal talks about it. That's hilarious. Jason, this F-22 is sick. Got videos of it flying on the channel, man. It's dope. It's one of those birds that if I heard it, I'd get another one right away. There's the other one right away. I wanted to try the Inrunner. Yeah, that's it. Awesome. What else, dudes? We can talk about baseball a little if you want. You guys see the big deal on Tatis? Anybody follows baseball? Tatis, the kid's killing the game. Hits a grand slam off a 3-0 count, and everybody's mad at him. Like unwritten rule was broken. Like, what, the pitcher's feelings are going to get hurt? What is this world coming to? What have I been flying lately? You guys have seen it, Jeremy. I really never fly unless there's a camera on it. Just because of the way time works out for me. So yeah, Jason, I would say the videos on the F-22 we've already done are awesome. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what this will do with the Inrunner in it. We got 115 folks in here, man. It's going on 2.5 hours. It goes fast. What I would say is get your questions in now. Ask me kind of anything related to RC. Yeah, that's what's up. I don't want to shill a bunch, but I've got links all over the place, guys. I have a website. Use it. Bookmark it. All that stuff, please. I hate to shill it all the time, but you kind of have to. Really like, comment, share it out to people you think might want to see things. Not this. Don't share out the live stream. Unless there's somebody who needs to learn how to, land or something. But, yeah, George, crazy. Like, so many of these unwritten rules are, like, really seem to be, like, pitcher's feelings. Like, what? You're not going to take a candy pitch because you're going to hurt his feelings? He's the one who got himself in a 3-0 position. Swing. Who cares what inning it is? You don't think for a minute the other team, when they get a chance to bat, isn't going to try to win? This running up the score stuff, who cares? Learn how to lose. If you don't want somebody to run up the score on you, then play defense. I mean, what the hell? I want a Tatis shirt. Like, dude, 3-0, cram it. Who cares? Hit that ball. Dude's like just past Mike Trout or whatever it is with home runs. grand slam, secured a victory for his team, and even his own coach wussied out on him. Complete baloney. That Tatis kid is magic. Watch the documentary on him, like Spotlight on YouTube. Nice kid, baseball family, loves the game. You see the look after he was pumped. Of course you would be. You hit a grand slam, dude. And past Mike Trout or whatever, the other guy who was leading the league right now in home runs. He was stoked, and then he's in the dugout looking dejected because someone just crapped in his Wheaties. Like, wrong. You gonna teach a kid, like I'm teaching kids how to play baseball, man. I'm a coach. My kid's 9. He's doing awesome. He had baseball camp today, man. Dude, 3-0, if it's close, swing away, right, Dad? Feelings? Come on, man. The dude put himself in that position. You don't think the pitcher's trying to get you out? What, he gets behind, you're going to give him one? No. That may be the best pitch you get all night. It is that one. Pellegrino, yeah. Yep, we bought the channel. That's where it all comes from, guys. The channel keeps it going. So, y'all, the channel, me, got Bobby an F-14. So, he's got to put the Raven Rock Aviation upgrades in it, and we'll get that thing out in front of a camera. Dad, I'm teaching. So, Rafie's doing kid pitch for the first time now, and we're doing fall ball right now. So he's getting a leg up before spring, which is awesome. And after the kids get 4 balls, I pitch. The coach comes out and pitches to the kids, gives them 3. My boy he's been up a few times since we started fall ball, and he's never seen me yet. Because he's hitting off the kid, which I think is tremendous because the kids throw very all over the place. So this is his first time. I mean, he was machine pitch last year. So he's hitting off the kids, throwing. And he's staying in the batter's box and not, stepping out and chickening out, which is, I think, huge. And this is where you would see it, is because kids throw wild, I'm like, so the thing I'm teaching him right now is... do not... I'd love to pitch to you because I'll give you good ones right over the plate. So, don't swing it baloney, Rafe. If it's baloney, let it go. Let it go. If it's over your head, if it's in the dirt, if it's way outside, if it's way inside, let it go. If you're 3-2 and it's anywhere close, don't go down looking. Swing. So... Exactly, George. If it's good, go for it. Rafie takes the first one sometimes, and he's hitting it. I ain't mad at you. Like, hit it. Don't swing it baloney. He swung at one up here the other day, and he hit it. So I was like, well, I can't be mad at you, but if you let that one go, it was a total ball. And I'd have been able to pitch some good ones. So we got, what was it, yesterday? 2 days ago? I'm sorry, guys. You got to indulge me baseball a little bit. So, I love him and the game. And if you learn how to play that game well, I think you apply it to life and you'll be okay. So... we got lightninged out. Like, we only got to practice, whatever, for like an hour. Well, we got back to our side of town, and it was fine. And so, there's a diamond right by the house. So, we went to, where's the apple pie, right, boss? You ain't lying. So we went to the diamond, and this is the year that he can try pitching too. So I made him pitch a bunch, and then I pitched him and had him hitting. Man, he was hitting it. So awesome. He just loves it. He pays attention. He's way better than I ever was. He pays attention. I'm only good now because I know I learned what I did wrong and I got tired of being afraid of the ball. But I wasn't any good. I was all right, but I could have been way better. But it's the connection. I mean, yeah, he likes the game, but I think he likes how into it I am for him. And he's good. And he wants to do it, and he pays attention. Like just naturally. So, love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And I think he understands mechanics, too. Because that's huge. I mean, these kids on my team, they're like just out of T-ball. And they know what it is to pull your head out and step out and all this stuff. So, if you chopped it, you get lapped, Sherman. Awesome, Air Marshal. Bob Gibson. I got to watch a lot of spring training games in Arizona, the pro teams. And there was never anyone there. So you could hang out right by the dugout with them. It's cool. It was cool. Yeah, something special about that game. I love the head game of baseball. And I tell these kids, it's not enough to just field it. You gotta always, this makes sense to us, right? We're grown. But you gotta always know what you're gonna, before, it may not come to you, whatever, it may not come to you the whole game, but you need to know every pitch, every at bat, every hit, what you will do with it when you get it. So what you do is automatic, because the runner's trying to get on, and at the same time you have to stay composed and not. I think it's a great gentleman's game. That's how I think of it. I don't follow the pro teams. I could give a rip about whoever, whatever. The Tatis thing caught my attention because unwritten rules, like, let's see what that's about. But I really don't pay much attention. Really, unwritten rules, that'll piss you off. Because, what, a pitcher's having a no-hitter, you're not supposed to hit or bunt or... Well, who cares? Who cares? Play that game, man. It's awesome. So, I'll get off this in a second. My boy went to camp today at the performance lab for like the minor league Cubs here in town. I will pay to get that boy to, if he wants to do it, he'll go. So he's going to go to the next one too, pitching and catching. Actually, whether he wants to or not, but he wants to, so it's cool. So I go, what? I didn't, I'm always coaching, but I wasn't there this time. So I go, how'd it go? What'd they tell you? And he's like, well, they said to keep my legs straight like this and put my weight on the back and don't swing up and do it like this, I was like, oh, that's what Dad's been telling you, isn't it? Chin to shoulder. You should end up that way too. Keep your head in that swing, man. Anyway, good times. I was glad to hear they were telling him the same things. And then there's some drills he did there. I'm like, yeah, dude, show me. We'll do them. We'll do them. Because it was infielding and hitting today. Ah, Francis, I got you. Yeah, forget, man. You play. It's like don't pick and choose how you're gonna play. You get your butt chewed for not running it out, right? Or watching it instead of running your butt to first. You know, why are you gonna then wimp out on a 3-0 count or worry about the pitcher so much? Earn it, dude. Earn it. Holy smokes. Rocco, thanks so much for the super chat, dude. So I'm going to remind you guys, those of you that are into Surface, check me out at CCXRC's live stream this Tuesday around 9:30 Eastern time. If you watch my felony video, this car right here, I put a link to his video on the felony in the description. That's a great way. Hey, Tony, what's up, man? I was just talking about you. We still on for Tuesday, dude? We still on for Tuesday? Yeah, he's in here. So, anyway, that's what his logo looks like. Look at the avatar. So, yep, Grand Slam. Hit it, dude. Who cares what the count is, man? That guy is like, Tatis could almost save baseball. Here's a kid who's a bright, shining light, having fun, loves the game, smiling, getting people paying attention. And honestly, talking about baseball at all, I hate to see baseball lose its grip as America's, pastime or favorite pastime. That used to be what they always said about baseball. Now it's telling everybody how to feel and look and dress and think. Anyway, 9:30 Tuesday next at CCXRC. I'm going to be on his show for a little bit, I think. And like I said, you see him right here in the chat. But if you go to my felony video, which is probably, I think, my last upload, the link to his felony video is in the description. You can get to his channel that way. You should watch his felony video as well. I really enjoyed it because I love seeing everything get air, even if it's a street rod, So he was getting some air. It was cool. Check it out. Check it out. So we'll be talking Surface and, I don't know, maybe YouTube, things like that. Tuesday night, 9:30 Eastern Time at CCXRC. It is going to be fun. Bobby K, was it windy there, buddy? He just got back from flying with our buddies in Chicago. I didn't go. I'm going to try to get out tomorrow. Yeah, Air Marshal. RC Conspiracies, dude. Yeah, Paul, for sure. Thanks, George. Yeah, you guys, I throw it, I shouted out to Tony. It's funny, I was joking it earlier, Tony, because I shouted out you and RC Sparks in my video that probably hadn't even hit 1,000 views yet, but it's all right. Who cares? I think some of my guys maybe came over who hadn't heard. Oh yeah, that's just the short of it, Tony. I'm mad. I've got a bunch of it on this side and in the garage. It's nuts. Catch some mad air with the 128 scale short course truck. Lucas Oil, that thing was awesome. Tony, I don't know if you saw what we were doing last weekend, but me, Air Marshal, who's right here in the chat, and Mary Boozer did like a 3-day collab all about like budget Surface. So we did the little SCX 24s. We all picked out a boat and then something else. I did the Mini T. Air Marshal did that little Lucas Oil jobby, which was awesome. 128 scale. And then Mary Boozer did that little Yeti, right? That Yeti. Little crosswind, but you're, used to that. You coming out tomorrow, Bobby? Or what? If not, I got to hit you in the week, dude. I got to get some stuff in front of the camera. You got that F-14 put together? Yeah, Francis, you got to check it out, dude. The Felony getting some air. And then, man, I can't ever remember the guy's name, but that one dude, it looks like he's making the videos for Arma. He's got sparks. I want to figure out how to get those titanium bolts, or what bolts to get. Victor, the question is, what didn't I fly? We had everything out there today. Yeah, cool, Tony. Tony, I hit my camera 3 times on my Felony. I only put it in there once. But Tony completely annihilated. I don't know about complete annihilation, but you hit a real, you knocked over a real nice camera on your Felony video. Kitris Extreme, that's it. Those videos are sick. Sick. The Crosswind Challenge. We enjoy it too, but Roy, I swear it's every time we go out. Crosswind. You guys got to do it on a Sunday, dude, when I can go. It's Saturday. It would have been impossible for me to do the show if I went. Some Buttonhead M3s. Nice. Nice. You got them in yet, or are you waiting on them to show up, Tony? Yeah, right? Tony does videos a day job, but his videos are still next level. Yeah, his edits are sick. Totally to the beat or the phrasing of the lyric or something. Like, pretty slick. You just got him. All right. I was thinking about taking off some of those real low profile bits and seeing if I could send it a little bit and get some air without beating up on the... You lost your splitter on that one video, didn't you? I've done the show on the road, Francis. It's a lot of work, man. The live stream on the road, I've done it from events, and it's pretty cool, except that the flying is awesome. If it was windy, it's not windy anymore at 8:39 when I'm getting ready. And then you're sitting here in front of the camera and everybody's flying, and it's amazing. It's like I want to fly. You want them to hang low, that's why Buttonhead. Sure, on the titanium, yeah. But what about the like splitter and some of this other business? I mean, I guess you lose your bumper if you get rid of that, but I mean, that looks... Imagine this on the car and you didn't have that other stuff. I wonder how it would look. I know air would get under there and stuff, but I'm really not too worried about going fast. I want to get in the air with it. Roy wants to know if you did any video, Bobby. I would venture to say no. Right, Bobby? So, Tony, I got a question for you. Since we're nerding out, take off the splitter for jumping. Yeah, that's what I think. Here's my question. So, the camber on the back, I could tell was probably just a little off because of the way the tires wore. So, I adjusted that. We'll see how it does next time. Did you end up getting a set of tires? I think you did, didn't you? I got to get some. But on the front, you can't really adjust the camber, right? Unless you like unthread those the balls, right? The pillar balls. You can open them, you know, thread them out a little bit, push the top of the tire, and get you a little bit of adjustment. But you can't go the other way though, unless you take away some of the material. I'm not too worried about how the tires are wearing, but it's like you only got new fronts. So is it the fronts that are the same size as the infraction and the rear tires are a new skew? Is that what it is? Because I remember on the website, yeah, pillow ball with spacers, but what if you have to go the other way? Then you've got to lose material. But that's how you would do it, isn't it? That's how you would do it. If I see like a real bad kind of wear pattern, I don't mind shaving off a little plastic or adding a spacer for it. I put 3 packs through mine, and I mean, I only bought the thing to drift, not really go straight lines, and I'm not through to the belts or anything like that. Right. Cool. That's what I thought. Awesome. All right, guys, look, I went longer than I wanted to. So let's do a little recap of what my big points were for today. Thanks to the captains. Thanks to all the members of the channel. Thanks to everybody who comes by and does all of the things. The best way to support a channel is free. Watch the videos. Give it a like. Give it a dislike. Comment, please. Those things are super helpful to feed the algorithmic robot of YouTube. If you're tired of the garbage on Facebook, Instagram, check it out. A lot of your friends have Instagrams as well. Tony's Instagram is lit. I've got the link to my Instagram in the description, as well as TubeBuddy and other things that I talked about tonight. Nice. So that's that. I wanted to mention the live stream from Tony Tuesday at 9:30. Be staying tuned to me and him on social. We'll, I'm sure, make a post about it when it's time. Turn on your notifications too. If you want to support me, you like the videos or you like the live streams, turn on those notifications so when I do post in the community tab, you get it. And you know that something's going on. Tony, thanks, man. Now I owe you one. I'll do it when you're I'll make it happen on your show. Brian Chambers, thank you so much. Thank you, dude. And Mitchell, thanks again. George Watts, thanks again for your like angel investor donations. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Bobby K, we are pumped. Bobby K and I, we're going to be doing the Gripen and the big MiG-29. Yeah, Victor, we'll see how fast it is. Behavior is my deal. You know what I mean? How does it feel? How does it fly? How does it land? It's fast is cool. I always say if it's not fast enough, you're not flying it close enough to yourself. You want to go faster? Tighten up. You know what I mean? You're fun, Tony. Craig Beaven, I'll do that. I'll hit you up in Messenger with pictures of that thing. F900EX, can't link the picture. If you want, post it on the Pilots Lounge Facebook group, even though I can't stand to hardly go. If you go to the group, it's all RC, so that's cool. It won't get you angry. Everybody have a good night. It was another one of those long shows. I didn't really aim to go 3 hours, but it was rocking. We had some great discussion on landings, techniques. You guys asked me some beautiful questions that I really love to answer, talking about how to do barrel rolls and things like that. And I think a lot of guys really enjoyed that conversation, and I enjoy having them. It's nice every now and then to remember. It's so much of a grind, the business end of this, that it's really nice to remember the finer points of the flying and the playing with these RCs in the first place. So, well, you ain't missing nothing, F900. It's cool. Get an Instagram then. I mean, Facebook owns it, whatever, but still, you won't see the same drivel. All right, y'all. We're going to do this. Some of you other guys on the flip side know how to hit me up to maybe continue. For the most part, though, I think we're going to all beat it. Tony, I'll be talking to you. We'll get a practice run. Make sure everything's good for the show. Michael Sherman, you asked me a question earlier. I'm not sure if I answered it. Speed pinion on the Felony, I have not done it, and I probably won't. Reason is, it seems like they say that would be what you want to do if you're just going to like kind of drag race it, so to say. Speed runs. I do like the street bash and the being able to just be in the throttle and pump and pump and pump it. So I am not gonna probably do the speed pinion on that. I did put the bigger pinion on the big 8S Outcast, so the next video I put up on the 8S Outcast will be on the, I think, 23 tooth pinion that it comes with. But otherwise, there are 2 videos of the 8S Outcast on my RC Trucks playlist. You can check out my first run, which is very short because most of it was out of frame, and then the second run where I had already calibrated the ESC that time, moved the punch up to 5, which was max punch, and the brake to 62.5 on the urging of the community, who I asked in the earlier video what I should do, and they answered me in the comment section, which was amazing, and I took that advice and I did it. So there's videos of that thing, and again, it'll be 23 tooth next time it comes out, and who knows what other vehicle might surprisingly show up or I get a hold of next. So having a good time with all of this, guys. Thanks so much. Yep, I'm all stock, Sherman. Yeah, Tony did a speed run. I think he got 61, 63 on the stock setup. If you like the Felony Sherman, you got to check out CCXRC. If you like Surface, you got to check out Tony. Good guy, quality content, man. Easy to watch and get loads of value from. All right, dudes, we're rolling. We're out of here in 5. Hanger Rats forever. 3 you later. You're too good to be forgotten. We'll see you next time. In the immortal words of Captain Mike, stick 'em monkey pants. See you later, y'all. Watch the videos and comment. I see you. Do it.